Salvage Hunters. At a shop in Berkshire, Drew plans some mischief with the merchandise.
Really knock everybody, couldn't they, in the office, just picking their stuff up and moving it around.
At a dealer's in Oxfordshire, he locks horns over a buffalo skull.
Don't bid me, 500 quid.
I am going to bid you.
I knew you would.
And at a school in Hatfield, the furniture comes with a little added extra.
Chewing gum is standard, mandatory on all school tables that we buy.
Drew Pritchard is one of Britain's leading decorative salvage dealers.
Wow. Blimey. Look at this.
He scours the country in search of weird and wonderful objects.
I love that. Oh, that's a stonking one. Look at that.
In his hunt for treasure,
Is that marble?
nothing he won't buy.
I would sell it for 2,000.
I've got to get a deal. It's in my nature.
With help from Rebecca
That's rather good. You drive me around the bend. Lovely. I'll just go downstairs and we'll sort out payment.
and a team of renovators, he transforms thousands of items from junk to gems. At Drew Pritchard Antiques in Llandudno, the pace of sales is relentless.
Now there's two, sort of near matching pair. Yeah, this one has 17 birds in it.
On a busy day, boosted by Drew's popular website, something is flying off the shelves every 15 minutes. So the pressure is always on to get more antiques through the door.
The fastest one I did, I actually did a listing, came off the computer, turned round, the phone rang and I sold it. It was like...
To stay on top of his game, Drew has to make sure that the warehouse is packed to the rafters with much sought after, top quality and quirky antiques that his clients from all over the world cry out for.
When stuff is selling fast, you're under pressure then to restock. What I've done with creating this business is I've created a machine that turns over antiques constantly.
And with scores of exceptional antiques needed every week, Drew has to have a few places up his sleeve that he can bank on to deliver the best.
We do need a lot of stock, but it's not just about quantity, it's about getting the right quality. And there are certain places that Drew goes to that can really deliver the goods. They're surefire bets or bankers, places that you can almost guarantee will have the kind of...
One of the most dependable bankers for range and quality of buys is the network of shops and antique centres around the country. And they don't come much better than Drew's next call. T is driving him 220 miles southeast to a village in Oxfordshire.
Right, we're off to see Tom Keane at the Swan at Tetsworth. He's very well known in the antiques world. I am excited about today. If Tom has put together an antique centre, it's going to be good.
The Swan Inn, for centuries a coaching stop on the main London to Oxford road, is an award-winning antique centre. After 30 years in the trade, veteran auctioneer Tom Keane is using his passion, expertise and encyclopedic knowledge to bring together some of the best dealers in the trade. And
The piece of furniture, the antiques, we still learn every day. You still see things you haven't seen all the time, and it's not an exact science. An idiot like me can get away with it. Hello, Drew.
Hello, mate. How are you?
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Well, welcome to Oxford's best kept secret.
So you have to give us the tour then, because I've not been here before.
I'll show you all around.
Yeah, can we have a look?
Come on.
Tom leads the way around the sprawling building, where 40 rooms showcase the offerings of the 80 different dealers.
So these are all different dealers, yeah?
All different dealers. You've got Chloe and David in there, and Chris in there, the rug man. These dealers all come and maintain their rooms every week, and they all do well out of it.
That's a really good room, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's how to do it if you want to retail. That looks great, yeah.
It smells nice in here too, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does.
It does.
Going through the building, there's obviously lots of different rooms, lots of different dealers with their own... And they've got a couple of really nice things in here as well. Oh, that's a stonking one, look at that.
Yes, that was shot locally. You see the bullet wound to the right-hand side.
Did it get the bullet wound since it's been in here, or what?
No, that was the actual fatal wound, and we ate the rest of it.
That's nice, yeah, I like that a lot. Great look. That is just an absolute belter. It really is. Just the size and shape of the horn. They usually come out a lot flatter and wider, and this one's raised right up and they're curling over and back in. It's almost like a skull framed by a horned love heart. You know, it's really got it all going on. Then it's got a brilliant thing. It's got a great big bullet hole right through the head, which is so gruesome. But thinking about sales-wise, it really adds to it.
The unmounted water buffalo skull and horns dates from the night. It could be worth around £600.
So you got £5.75 on it. So what are you doing? What can you do?
£5.75. We'll do it for you. Don't bid me £500.
I am going to bid you.
I knew you would.
I can't help it. It's in my nature. I was really happy at £4.50. And I'd take it. Yeah.
Because at £4.75 you can, but at £4.50 you can't.
Just can't. I'll have it.
You are? There you are.
you
We get to
very
put it
much.
out of the head for you.
Yeah. That one's exceptional. So I'll pay up for that because it's exactly what we're looking for all rolled into one. And when you put something in front of you that is the best, you've got to buy it, and that one's the best one I've seen.
One great buy in the bag, and Drew's only just started.
It's a big place, isn't it?
It is. That little drinks trolley.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Different. Great colour. Just odd. Look at his face now.
I've never seen you buy anything vaguely like that.
I haven't bought anything like this before.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
It's just cutesy cool. It's just got a certain look to it, and I think it's really well priced. Cutesy cool little sort of malachite green almost drinks trolley. Late 1940s thing. Really just cute. It's completely untouched, and it's got the glass top, which is meant to be green glass, but that's expensive. So what they've done is they've got clear glass and glued green paper underneath it nicely. So it's sort of been really done to a price. So it's meant to look really grand, but it really isn't.
The two-level raffia-covered drinks trolley with its striking...
What can you do that for? 150?
150, 150, 150. I can't do a lot.
I know. Sorry.
130, and don't bid me because I can't. There you are.
Sold.
All right.
Thank you very much. That's nice too. You can bring me my breakfast for this in the morning.
Can you fill it with drinks and then we'll take it away?
Oh yeah.
We might still be there in the morning.
Yeah. No,
I'll give you a room too.
I think all of next year for me will all be about colour. I think that's just stuck with me now. It's something that I want in my life. I want it in my own home. So I just transfer that into my business and what I'm selling. Ah, okay.
Another room full of interesting bits.
Interesting bits and bobs. This is what I love about Antique Centres, because it's just a totally different look again. It's a different take. Can this be 180 quid?
How much is it?
225.
Style mahogany side table with its carved detailing and two tiers dates from the early 20th century and could be worth around £350.
It is a bit of little classic English country house look to it. It really is. Imagine that next to a wonderful armchair with a big old table lamp on it, piled up with books and gin. It's just got that feel about it, and it's not a lot of money. So what do we agree? 180 if it's all right?
190 it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, 180 is good though, isn't it?
But 190 is better. I'll do something better for you as we go around.
I know. Paid 190 for it. There's a very, very tight profit in this one after the work. I think there's probably 40 quid's worth of work on it as well. We're going to be 230 to 240 into it, and I'm not going to get £300 for it. So there's 50, 60 quid profit left in that. Not great, but a profit's a profit. Keep buying.
The Swan is certainly turning out to be a banker. It's got just the type of quirky, eye-catching, elegant pieces that Drew's after, and there's more outdoors.
About 5 or 6 different people own this side of things.
Yeah.
So
They're good, aren't they?
yeah, they're marble.
They're modern, are they?
A little bit of age, but I would have thought I might be a bit older.
Yeah. Good though, aren't they?
Mm.
We've come outside to architectural bit they've got in the yard here, and the first thing I see, and I can't take my eyes off them, is a pair of marble goats, and they're carved from a single piece of marble each. They're not that old, 30, 40 years old, but they look like something from the 70s. They've got that sort of Hollywood, chic-y, glamour look to them, and they're actually really well done.
The two goats, carved out of white marble and dating from the mid-20th century, could be...
£225 each, £450 for the two.
450 quid.
For the two, cheap.
Stylised mountain goats.
Didn't you say you were scared of these?
Goats?
Yeah, you said really, really scared. Oh, ghosts.
Well, they don't exist. And how much? 450?
450.
The pair.
The pair.
Salvage expert Drew Pritchard is visiting the Swan at Tetsworth near Oxford, a large antique centre which brings together some of the best dealers in the trade. He's haggling with owner Tom Keane over a pair of goats carved out of white marble.
I haven't seen any more around. We all get around the trade. I haven't seen any more. These are the two that I know of.
Okay. And how much? 450?
450.
The pair?
The pair.
Sold.
On the van.
There you are.
They're made to be in a house. They just look brilliant. Hopefully one of the better decorators will get their hands on them and they'll go through there. Just super stylish. They're sort of brutalist into Art Deco, and they're a real weird mix, but yeah, love them.
As predicted, the Antique Centre has turned out to be a top-notch banker. Drew knew that with Tom at the helm, it would have just the type of quirky, quality, off-the-wall pieces that he needs for his business, and the Swan has certainly paid off.
Today, really good. Dealing with Tom, straightforward. He's been in the trade forever. The bison skull that I bought was the best example I've seen. That one just had that extra 1%. You know, it's got the X factor. It's bigger. It's a better shape. It's a better colour. It's got the big, massive bullet hole through the head. A real fun purchase today was the little green colour they've got there. So saleable. And somebody's going to have a real fun, kitschy, cool little thing in their house. Buy of the day was the pair of marble goats. They are exceptional in their form. The carving on them, I would say, is like a 9 out of 10. They're very brutalist into sort of deco, into sort of modernism. They're a real weird style. Just great, and at the price, 450 quid. I see them all day long at £1,200 to £1,500, and they're worth it.
Well, Drew's got an eagle eye. He walked straight into room 28 here and spotted a bison head, and his body language told me straight away he wanted it. Listen, he's bought it. Hope he does well out of it.
What an antique centre. He was great, wasn't he? Yeah. Well worth the trip down here. Superb.
Another surefire bet. It's just under 25 miles to the town of Reading in Berkshire.
We're off to see Aldridge and Sons, and we're seeing the 5th generation Johnny Aldridge. It's a family business selling leather goods, bags, saddles. Unfortunately, they're closing down, like so many of these small businesses are now. Very sad.
We're going to far too many, aren't we?
We are, we're seeing it more and more, but we're part of the process. When these businesses close down, there has to be somebody in our line of work that will go there and buy the items.
With modern shopping centres thriving in Reading, the old-style businesses like Aldridge's Leather Goods are losing ground. The family firm started in 1879 as suppliers of horse harnesses and later saddles. Now, with trade in steep decline, current owner Johnny's additional store, Drew realises that old-style workplaces can be a goldmine for him. It's yet another reliable source of quality pieces.
I'm very proud that, first of all, the business lasted that long, 137 years. I love the family history. You know, there are very few shops nowadays with that sort of history around them.
Hi there.
Hi,
How you
Johnny.
doing? Drew. Nice to meet
Pleased
you.
to meet you.
Hi,
Hi, Johnny. Pleased to meet you.
Right. So what's to go? Everything? Or shall I just give you prices on things?
Anything you
interesting.
see that you like,
Okay.
if the price is right.
When I walk into these places, I do find it sad. So I have to walk in and go, right, let's think positively. The more of this that I can buy and put back into circulation, back into another life, giving it maybe into another business where most of this will go, at least some goods come out of it.
It's not long before something grabs Drew's attention.
Well used.
Yeah. Is that for sale?
Yeah.
Can't say I've ever bought one of these.
Not
You would
for
say
money.
unfortunately it's not.
It was probably originally for hanging stuff up and getting stuff down from outside.
I see.
You could annoy Ruth without getting out your chair in the office now. You could
Really narc everybody, couldn't they, in the office, just picking their stuff up and moving it around.
The long pole, designed for reaching high-up merchandise, dates from the early 20th century. It's elaborately made of steel encased in copper, with a cast brass pincer claw on the end, plus a bronze finial and a wooden handle. It could be worth around £130.
Just nice, original, odd items. The sort of item that clients really like because it's sort of like the final dressing of a period shop. 75 quid.
Deal? Yeah? Yeah.
Well, it's only been here 2 minutes and I bought something.
Good start.
With one good buy in the bag, Drew's keen to have a proper rummage around the rest of the shop.
Leather goods. That's a cartridge bag, isn't it? A cartridge
is,
box.
a cartridge
Can
box.
we open that one up? I've bought loads of these over the years. This looks like quite a good one. There we go. Lovely for fit and finish. Look at that. Superb oak.
The top quality case in highly worn leather with oak detailing was designed for carrying the cartridges of ammunition used in field sports. It bears the crest of Watson Brothers, a company founded in London in 1885, and official suppliers of firearms to, amongst others, the Sultan of Turkey and the Shah of Persia. And together with the cartridge case, there are two so-called leg of mutton cases, once brought in for repairs and never collected.
You find these all the time. They need to have a
Shotgun in them.
shotgun in them. Really does help, to be honest.
The name leg of mutton is a nod to the shape of the cases, which will be used to carry a weapon that had been dismantled into two parts. They could be worth around £250 each.
The cartridge case is super quality, really nice looking, blokey item. Made just to hold your reams of cartridges with the straps over to hold them on. You know, completely over the top really. Beautifully made. It's a rich man's sport, so they wanted the best of everything. Shame that's a bit faded. So what would you want for that and the pair of mutton chops? That's the sort of money.
No.
So what do you want then?
I think that's worth a few £100 on its own.
How many hundred? I don't think I can get that for it. It's too specialised.
These I don't know anything about at all. That I would have been thinking around about the 300.
Yeah, I can't get there. It is a nice one. I'll tell you what,
I'll do 300 for the three.
I was going to say 250 the three.
Do 300 for the three.
Don't really want them. Not that into those. I'd probably be pushed. Let's do 275
For the three?
for the three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal?
Purely because I'm not sure
Yep. Okay.
the proper value on
Yep.
that one. Is there anything else around the corner to have a look at?
Yep.
So what have we got? Here.
That cabinet.
That's all right. That's a
chairs.
really good nick. Blimey. I think that's the best condition one I've ever seen. They usually shot these things.
Oh, are they?
The revolving, adjustable factory chair with its seat and backrest covered in vinyl probably dates from the 1950s. It could be worth around £200.
The factory chair is in remarkably good condition because it hasn't been to a factory by the looks of it. It looks like it's been brought into here and put in that back room and stayed there forever. It does look in mint condition. It's probably the best example left in the world. It's ridiculous. A little American desk chair. These vary in quality. This one's sort of middle of the range. It's had the seat reupholstered sometime in the past.
Yeah, we did that.
The other chair is, I've always called them American desk chairs. They generally were made over there. Very good quality oak, leather upholstery, steel fitting.
The oak desk chair with a brass-studded leather seat probably dates from the early 20th century. It could be worth around £350.
What do you want for those? You know what you want on the prices, don't you? So
I don't.
That one there, we bought a few of them recently. We paid 75 quid for every single one.
Right.
That's going to be the price for that one.
Okay.
This one, it's in really nice nick actually. 180.
75, fine for that one.
Fine. That's the sort of going rate for that.
Yeah, fine. 180. We do 200 for that one?
Yeah, as long as it all winds up and down,
Does,
everything's
it
fine,
all
all works fine.
perfect. Yeah.
They stretch back, these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. We'll have those. 275, thank you.
Perfect.
I like patina and I like wear, but that grime, which is absolutely the top dollar. What else we got?
This, no?
It's not for me at the moment.
No.
I mean,
okay.
happy with those two though.
Leave that one be.
Leave that one be. Stick it into auction, you never know. Somebody might give you daft money for it.
Yeah.
Where next?
Up the stairs.
The three-storey Victorian building has barely been altered in almost 100 years, when all the goods were made here on the premises by a team of craftsmen. When Drew's looking for surefire bankers to find great objects, shops like these are near the top of his list.
Here we are.
Blimey. Wow, look at this, T.
Yeah.
Wow. How many people worked up here?
Originally 12, 14 guys full-time.
In this room?
Yep.
Blimey. It's remarkable how untouched this place is. It's full of people who are really skilled leather workers, and it's all gone. It's all this tack. You're going to sell that off as well? Yeah. You can flog all that, can't you? The online stuff. Don't insult the man's stock. No tack. It's not tack. It's
I thought you said
this
tack.
is horse tack. You muppet. Horse tack.
Sewing machines.
Sewing machines. No.
I'm surprised there was such a gap, actually.
No. There's a
only
list.
the one note.
We've got a list of things we don't buy, and it's top 5. It's up there with scales, baths, farm machinery, fridges, cookers, and old Japanese cars. Just looking at any of the fixtures and fittings and other bits and bobs you've got in here. I mean, for a leather goods guy, it's an absolute gold mine.
Yeah.
for somebody specialising in this sort of stool. That,
Yep.
saddle horse, what would you like for that?
But
They're
again-
fairly common. Again,
Right.
they're always different.
Yep.
There's never been, seems to be one manufacturer for them. There's lots of different
No.
ones. Before cars, everybody had a horse, or two, or three, or four. And when you finish with the saddle, what you do, drop it on the floor? You won't, because that costs a load of money. So you put it on a saddle rack.
This saddle rack, dating from the late 19th century, has a frame of wrought iron topped by an arc of oak battens. It could be worth around £350.
The good thing about it, and this is really good, is it's for a single saddle, not two. They are really tricky to sell, and it's low. So somebody can actually get on it and sort of use it to sit on. Might sound odd, but we do have clientele that will want that sort of thing, for whatever use they see fit. The Century,
Yep.
maybe a little later.
Get anywhere near 300 for that?
No, I can't. I need to spend some money on it.
Yep.
And,
Well, how about 250? There we go.
Salvage dealer Drew Pritchard is at Aldridge's, an old leather goods store in Reading. Traditional retailers that are closing their doors are a valuable source of quality shop fittings and accessories, and this 19th century high street shop is certainly coming up trumps. Drew's already bought 6 items, and now he's trying to buy a saddle rack.
It's around about the 200.
what about the stool? What can we do on the stool?
Keen to do a package deal, he pushes for a stool he's interested in.
So it needs a stretcher.
Yeah.
The hand grip, it's got a nice elm or oak seat, I think, on there.
This workbench stool with a worn seat and handhold probably dates from the early 20th century and could be worth around £200.
Now, this has got a really nice oval top with a handhold in it, with that signature sort of S shape cut into it. They're very popular, really popular, and that's a nice one. But it's had some really iffy repairs underneath, which we'll have to remove and start again. I say we, Alex.
To wrap up the deal, he brings the saddle rack back into the picture.
What about for the pair? What can you do for the pair? Tell you what, I'll give you a price, 300 quid the pair.
Okay,
Yeah?
deal.
That'll be expensive. I reckon I can get that fixed for about 25 to 40 quid max. And then there's a 50 quid profit in it. But the good thing is, it's tall, sell quick. So I think probably, T, let's go and find the van and load up.
Perfect.
All right, mate.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Today was good, a little pricey, had to pay up for everything, but I got good stock. I think once it's all back to the warehouse and cleaned up and polished up and photographed correctly, it's a good little mix, very saleable. A fun item today was the little sort of retail claw, I think we'll probably call it. A retailer's claw, it's probably called something like that. Fun item, sell well, no work, bar a photograph and a wipe. I'm fairly sure it'll just go back into one of these old-fashioned shops that people are building all over the country now. The saddle rack I bought, traditionally they can be tricky sellers. But this one, I think, has got much more of a chance. Quirky, it's odd, being in wrought iron and then the paint. Dealing with Johnny, he's tough, knows his prices, knows what he wants, not afraid to say no.
Thankfully, they bought a few pieces, so hopefully they've gone out happy. I'm happy, so all in all, a good day.
Aldridge's was just the banker Drew was hoping for. Now it's time to show Rebecca and the team the hall.
Welcome.
Hi, you all right? There you go, look.
Oh,
Saddle rack.
isn't that
It's cute.
fantastic?
Now, usually saddle racks are,
Oh,
how can I describe them? A complete pain in the arse to deal with. But that one has got something else going on. It's nicer because it's lower than normal. It's
just
decorative.
I've been with horses nearly all my life, and so I've seen a fair few saddle racks, and they're not done. It looks like the sort of spine coming down the back. Wonderful find.
Is that probably the best industrial chair left in the world? Look at the condition of it.
Looks like it's never been sat on.
Yeah, it was used in their office with that.
He realised as I loaded up,
He didn't have anything to sit on in the office anymore.
Did he?
He was stood at his computer like that as he was getting them out.
It's immaculate. So there's profit there. Nice bit of profit, but there's no work. I mean, you can't go wrong. We've sold, I don't know how many in the past. And this one, the swivel's all fine. It's not wonky because they do tend to do this after years and years of use. So that's great.
Oh, the grabber.
Oh, yeah.
Grabber.
See, you've got one job.
Which you're doing very averagely.
Claw.
Yeah, it's for putting the
Yeah, but it's just a nice
coat
one.
hangers. That's
Just
lovely.
a nice one.
I love that little stop grabber. I mean, I used to be in the rag trade and working in warehouses. We used to use a similar system, but with just a normal plain hook. This is decorative. It looked lovely just hanging on a wall.
The wooden stool from Aldridge's goes into Alex's carpentry workshop.
One of the major problems is we've got a stretcher missing here.
Alex measures up and cuts the new stretcher roughly to length, then planes the wood to create the tapered shape.
So there's our new stretcher.
Next, the piece gets sanded smooth, and then
We'll just go over it with the edge of a screwdriver to get it nice and smooth and round.
Alex's piece of dowel is now ready to go.
Okay, I like the proportions of that. So we'll drill out these holes, get this glued in tight, even though the glue's still wet, which is always a brilliant sign of a solid repair.
All that remains is a few coats of different stain and wax in different shades to build up a depth and complexity of colour.
We can build up a bit more wax over it, and then when we wax the rest of the stool, that'll blend in nicely.
Drew is off to visit another type of location that yields a solid haul of furniture. They're driving nearly 250 miles from Llandudno to the town of Hatfield.
Okay, we are in Hertfordshire and we're going to the Queenwood School. They've called us in, they've got some furniture, great. They've told me they've got tables and chairs, so school, perfect, you know, chair.
The original town of Hatfield was extended during the 1940s to accommodate the trend for people moving out of the capital in search of green spaces and fresh air. Now a prosperous commuter town, it's a 5-mile drive from Queenwood School, which made its home here in 1925. The school was based on Victorian visionary John Ruskin's then radical idea that young women should be allowed access to a proper education. For teacher Dr. Wendy Bird, bursar Ian Williams, and deputy head girl Natasha Rajan, the school's founding ethos is still worth celebrating today.
Music was very important. On the school crest there's a harp and there's an owl for wisdom and a lamp of knowledge. The girls be old and cultured.
I think definitely they've got the best of Ruskin's ideals in the school ethos at the moment, and we all have a great time.
With 120 years of history, the school is packed to the rafters with pieces from the past.
We've got several items that we'd like Drew to have a look at today, some of which we don't quite know the provenance of, and it'll be very interesting to find out from Drew there, some of which are frankly just blocking out some of our storerooms, and we'd love him to take it away. So we've got a real combination, so it should be interesting.
Hello, how you doing? Drew,
Ian?
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
The trio are hoping to raise money to preserve and display the school's historical archives, but they'll find Drew very focused on exactly what he's hoping to get from them.
Today I want furniture. Ideally I want tables, chairs. I think I'm down to my last 100 chairs. Nice big run of lights. Whatever we buy's got to be good. It really has to be good.
First off, Drew's being shown to a storage area underneath the school's assembly hall.
See, this is the glamour of the antiques business.
So through here we've got some stuff that might be of interest to you.
Okay. Well, straight away, that's of interest.
A lantern.
Yeah. Where's that from?
It's a very good question.
Can I get it out?
Yeah.
That'll definitely be of interest. That's a lovely one.
There's only one pane of glass.
That's okay, it's just that finial missing more of a problem. Yeah, 1920s, 30s, but in a much earlier style.
So that would have been a lantern hanging down, would it?
And it would have been outside. You can see it's on a gimbal, so it's going to be allowed to move and slightly sway. I like that, that's a lovely bit of engineering.
Solid brass lantern, painted black, dates from the early 20th century, in an ornate style that shows the influence of the Victorian era. Although it's missing one finial, a decorative detail used to cover a sharp edge at the bottom of the piece, it could be worth around £1,500.
First thing I see in there, can't miss it. I walk in, immediately on my right-hand side, there is a lantern. This one is the perfect size. It's in pretty good nick as well. It's missing all but one of its pieces of glass and one little brass finial underneath, and that's it. The finial missing from there is a major issue. That's a pain. The fact it's only got one piece of glass in and it's beveled, that sort of... So the restoration is going to be a little pricey, but not too bad. But even after all that, Even after all that, I'll still give you £500 for it as it stands.
Salvage sleuth Drew Pritchard is at Queenswood School in Hertfordshire. Schools are amongst the most reliable location for picking up good solid furniture, but he's found something more unexpected. An extremely desirable, very large Victorian-style lantern, though it will need quite a bit of work.
The finial missing from there is a major issue. That's a pain. The fact it's only got one piece of glass in and it's beveled, so the restoration is going to be a little pricey. Even after all that, I'll still give you £500 for it as it stands.
Is that a good deal for me, is it?
That's a good deal. The offer, there you go, thank you very much.
There we
Marvellous. Happy with that. Paid £500 for the lantern. It's a really good price for them and me. But what I've got is a very saleable item because of that size. You've got all sorts in here. Yeah. It's just from schools. You've always got canoes lying around in schools as well.
Not for you.
Not for me. Wardrobe, just 30, 40 quid.
On the far left, there is a lectern, which I'm not sure if that's your thing either.
So oak lectern, not really my thing, not for me, but they do sell well. They always end up in the same place, which are restaurants, entrance to restaurants or auction houses. There's nothing else to do with them really. That's quite a nice one. It's got a cluster column, support on either side, oak, probably late 1920s, early 30s, worth about 200, 250 quid.
Yeah, that might pay for a skip for the rest.
With just one lantern bought so far, the school hasn't proved to be quite the treasure trove that Drew was hoping for. Maybe he'll have more luck inside the main building. They're going way up under the eaves.
Brown as well. School clock out there.
And there's one thing in particular Ian is hoping will tempt Drew.
Is this it, yeah?
Yeah, we're not sure about it.
Well, unfortunately, no matter what it is, it's completely had it, look.
Yeah.
It's missing its vital element from the top. Unfortunately, that's the end of its life. It's not worth a bean. This must be your first time up here. You're not allowed up here.
Oh, I can't say if I have been, though. So,
Oh.
yes, it's my first time.
And there's piles of props from old school plays.
A thrill that comes once in a life.
The tagline of the show.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice bit of wall art, isn't it, for somebody? Yeah.
Put it on your car, aerial Drew.
Yeah.
Drive around with it.
Keep that. That's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But no, not for me.
But there's no sign yet of those hordes of tables and benches that Drew banks on finding in the schools he visits.
So we've got some chairs in here, which you might be interested in.
These are all, bar possibly that one, Edwardian copies of Jacobean and Queen Anne furniture.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a value, but it's not a great one. I'm really interested in that one. £150 for that one. It's because of the age. You might get better at auction. So you could probably do better at auction than selling it to me.
No, I think that might be what we'll do.
Yeah, I can only advise, as I would advise any client if I went to their house on a valuation, which is to put them into a good local auction house. I'm sure they have some commercial value to somebody, but really not me.
Yeah, I think we got a few 1950s library tables in here, but you might be able to tell me different.
Okay.
But they're hidden away, I'm afraid.
Ah, I know exactly what they are. Fab. Well, they're a good size.
Yeah, they're a bit heavier than you think, Drew.
They are, aren't they? I'll leave that to you. Excellent. Are they for sale?
They certainly are.
All of them?
Yeah.
Excellent. So we've come to another storage facility, which is 2 old garages they've got on the site here, and they say it's full of school tables. I know exactly what they are. Before they open the door, I know they're going to be a twin pedestal or single pedestal table in the manner of heels, because they were sold in vast quantities to all of the different schools around the country, and they turn up in batches. Well, I can use them, that's for sure. I can do a lot with these.
Even with the chewing gum?
Chewing gum.
The 5 wooden dining tables are modelled on a range of classic pieces, manufactured in the early 20th century by Heels, the luxury London furniture shop. Though these may be copies from later decades, they could be worth around £700 each.
How about 5 bases, 5 tops? The bends in the tops does affect them. How does £1,500 grab you?
Wendy, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean,
If I increase it to £1,650.
I'm happy to side on that.
Deal? Yeah, thank you.
You get a
Thank
garage.
you. And you got a garage back and you got a few quid. Thank you.
With that excellent haul of tables, the school has eventually turned out to be just the banker that Drew was hoping for. It's time to load up the van.
Available items, paid the right money for them. The lantern was a really good find. I'm very pleased we came across that and it hadn't got bent or thrown away. We'll make some money on it, that's for sure.
I thought it was a very successful encounter. In fact, I've learnt a lot from Drew. He's so knowledgeable.
Those tables are an extremely versatile size. They're perfect for a kitchen table and also very good for dining tables in pubs because you can get 6 people around one of those eating easily.
Yeah, I think they're wonderful people. I think we had some good fun. Yeah.
Right, let's get out there. And anything else you need a hand with selling stuff, just give us a shout.
Much appreciated. Thanks for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm exhausted after a day at school.
They have changed considerably since that day.
You think so?
An iPad, not slate.
Back at Llandudno, the team are waiting to decide whether they'll be giving Drew top marks for his schoolwork.
Fantastic big building, dating from the 20s through to the 30s, 40s. This came from one of the entranceways. It's 20th century, it's not a really old one. It is either brass or bronze underneath that paint, probably brass.
It's not that old. It's got one piece of glass left in it, and it's been overpainted. So he's humming and hawing whether to sell it into the trade, as is.
What I want you to do is put a bit of stripper on it, just a bit, and just see what it is, because I might just trade it on as is.
How many?
5, probably heels. Well, they are heels, aren't they? Or
Yeah,
just
they are.
or very, very similar. All oak. Slight differences in them, but
4 foot by 6 foot. You could get 8 round comfortably, 12 cosily. I mean, 5. It's fantastic.
Gav, we're going to go back to old school. Want them bleached?
That colour oak is not sort of cool at the moment. We don't like that yellowy look. So there is a lot of work. But Gavin's used to bleaching tables. We've done it going back donkeys. So there's still good profit there, though.
Carl's getting straight to work on the marble goats from the Swan Antique Centre. A broken horn needs to be reattached. Step 1 is to drill out both sides.
Using brass, if any water gets in it, it won't rust and it won't expand and smash it. So now it's all been drilled out. We're going to brass dowel it.
Extra dab of a special adhesive for stone and marble. Once that's dry, he removes the excess and smooths a bit of the lichen over the join to make it all but invisible.
That'll do. Job done.
Gav's making a start on the first of the 5 tables from Queenswood School.
I just started on the underneath of the table to see what it would come out like, and it's coming out all right.
Sanding off the top layer of varnish also removes the orange tone, revealing the natural oak beneath it.
Right, now that's all sanded, I'm going to give it a light coat of clear wax. I don't think it needs a bleaching, so we're just going to wax it, see how it comes out.
And with a fair amount of old-fashioned elbow grease, the first one is beginning to look more saleable.
You can see the table in a nice dining room or a kitchen.
The cartridge case from Aldridge's is on its way to a new home.
Oh, is this the one that's going to Iceland?
It's going to Iceland, yes.
The American desk chair from the same place is just the touch of style a buyer in Yorkshire wanted for her 17th century house. The green drinks trolley from the Swan is snapped up as the perfect accessory for some very sophisticated cocktail parties in Hampshire. And the unusual saddle rack from Aldridge's has caught the eye of a finance manager in Lincoln as just the decorative finishing touch she wants for her spare room.
it's been a fantastic week. We have been to 3 places. You know, they're bankers. We are going to buy from all of these places and we're going to get good gear. So all in all, it's been a straightforward week with some fantastic locations.